Alright guys, this car behind me, or next to me, or however you want to say it, is a 2006 Chevy Cobalt. I bought it a few weeks ago, and it needed quite a bit of work. Like the paint was real bad, and the motor ran good, the transmission, all that was fine. The paint was in really bad shape, and the interior needed a lot of work. The door panels were in really bad shape. Some of the little trim pieces were broken. The passenger side door window on the door wouldn't go up or down. So I have a parts car out in the back. I took all the parts off of it, got this fixed up. Somebody had backed up into the car in the front driver's side corner and just kind of bent in the radiator, broke it, and some other small things. So all that came off of the parts car. And so I got it, changed it all out. It's running good. The part that's taped off is in pretty good shape. The paint's not that bad at all, but everything from the top, what you can see is bare, is what's really bad and faded, and the clear was just really bad. And at some point, somebody had already repainted the car. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna prepare it, and what I'm using is Duplicolor grease and wax remover. You can see there, you can get at the parts store. Some people prefer other stuff or better brand stuff, but so far I haven't had any problems with this, so I'm going to use it. I'm going to use that, and then just some blue paper towels, and basically we already got it scuffed up, so basically I'm just going to get all the dust and grease and all that stuff off of it. My buddy Richard's supposed to be coming over maybe a little bit later after work, hopefully when he gets off, and he's going to paint it for me. I'm not going to do it because I don't have the experience yet to paint something like this, where you have to kind of fade and blend the new paint into the original, or to where it was painted before. On the Civic, I'm the one doing that, but that's a little bit different. That's a cheaper paint job, not so much nice detail has to go into it. So what I'm gonna be doing is just cleaning it up, and I've already scuffed it up with, we had to do like, I think it was 300 on the top because it was in really bad shape, and then we kind of went up and up and up, and then finally got it to where it's nice and smooth. So it is ready to where we can just kind of clean it off, and I'm just going to have it ready for Richard for when he gets here. So all he has to do is just get to it and get painting. So y'all can just kind of see how I do it, and we'll just kind of go from there. Okay, so I got it all wiped down with the wax and grease remover. It's basically ready to go. The parts where you see the torn masking tape, I'm gonna have to redo that because, well, I forgot to get the paint code, so I had to open up the door to get it, and I had to get the VIN number and then call the dealership, and then they gave me the paint code. I'm gonna have to wipe it down again though, because my dad's out there mowing, and he was working on his mower inside the shop, and he kind of flued some dust and grass and stuff everywhere. But so basically, before you're gonna paint it, you need to remove all the wax and the grease. You need to scuff up the paint. People do it different ways. Some people primer it, some people do other stuff, but we just scuff it down since we're painting it the same color, and then we're just gonna shoot the paint on top of it, just have something for the paint to stick on. So I'll give another update as soon as I get the other stuff masked off and get ready to paint. Okay, so Richard's finally ready to paint, and he's pouring the paint. He's got his safety mask on with a hole for his cigar, because we're all about safety here, and we don't need any bad stuff getting into his lungs. So he's fixing to start shooting the paint, and I'm gonna keep recording so y'all can see how it's done, or how he does it anyways. And I'm gonna step outside and just record from the outside. The compressor will probably kick on here in a few minutes, so it'll probably get loud. And if y'all are wondering about the cars in the background, we don't care to cover them up for the overspray because they're completely covered in dust, and they're gonna have all the body work redone. They're gonna be taken back down to the metal, so we're really not worried about getting any overspray on that or the windshield or anything. Okay, so he's fixing to put on the third coat, and what he's doing is there's some of the spots on the car that the bare metal, we had to go down to bare metal because the paint was so bad. So what he's actually gonna do is he's gonna concentrate more on getting some good penetration and paint on the parts that are bare, more than the other parts that don't really need it anymore. Like on the top of that pillar he's painting, you can see some white spots, but the rest of the hood and the pillar don't really need it. So basically that's what he's doing. Okay, so that's basically about it. He's got 2 small spots that he's gonna have to go over again. Very, very small. But basically, it's done. It's still wet, so that's why it looks shiny. It's getting a little dark, so I know it's gonna be kind of hard to see, but you can see on some of the spots it'll be like a little more faded, and some parts are shiny. That's just because some of the paint is drying faster than on other spots. So just in case you're wondering about that. But that's basically it. Alright, so Richard's done with the car, and now he's making the orange bumper a blue bumper. This came off of the parts car that I have out back that I talked about, and you know, it'll paint the same. It should come out the same. So now he's throwing the first coat on it, and apparently it seems to be going faster than the car did. I guess the surface on this bumper is not as bad as the car itself was. Well guys, it's getting late, but he finally started on the clear. Right now he's doing the bumper and the spoiler, the wing, whatever you want to call it. And then after that, he's going to do the car. I'm not too close to it because breathing in clear is extremely unhealthy for you and you could die. He's actually wearing a respirator mask for this part of it. So I'm not going to get in there and show really how it's done because we only have one mask and he has it on. So probably the next video will be of me just taking the all the masking tape and paper off, and then just starting to assemble the car. After it's all put back together, I'll wait a few days of not touching it, and then I'm going to have to fix an exhaust leak on the motor, or on the, not on the motor, but on the manifold. It's got a little exhaust leak, and then after that it's just going to get cleaned up and detailed, and it'll be ready to go to a new owner. It'll be a good little car for somebody. So probably the next video you see, it'll be of me putting the car back together during the day.